Oh shit, where's my mic at? What up, dude? I don't even know if my mic's on. I got an old school, what's this, a blue snowball. This is one of those microphones you can use with a PS4 too. Alright, babe. Let's see. Alright, the mic's on. What's going on, dude? Yeah, this is like the only time I'm gonna have free to like play any video. Oh shit, I didn't mean to get that weapon. This is the only time I'm gonna have free to like play any games this week, so. I hate this weapon. This weapon sucks. I have a God, it's not Lords of Thunder, it's like the Japanese copy, Winds of Thunder. I've thought about buying the US copy. It's expensive as fuck though, especially on the Sega CD. What's up, dude? Yeah, that's Sega CD, Winds of Thunder. Was it called Winds of Thunder on the for the Mega CD in Japan, or was it Lords of Thunder? I just know on the PC Engine CD version is Winds of Thunder. Why they changed it, I don't know. So when you have the shield on this, your hitbox is way big. Your hitbox is the entire size of the ship, like the pink part anyway. Yep, that's him. When I start hitting those later levels, though, I grab the number two. The number two, you know, the whatever it's called. There we go. Ah, Lord. Alright, let's see. Yeah, Hope everybody's having a good morning out here in Maryland. It's nice and sunny out today. I'm sure it was nice. I think it was nice out all week on the East Coast. But my God, the week before that was a ball buster. Jesus Christ. Oh look, I got this box. I got this TurboGrafx box. It has like there's like a sticker promotion to like sell I guess for the holidays or whatever. I'll show you. Hold on. It's just the box. I got all the paperwork in here too, but no styrofoam. But yeah, just the box. But it's got air zonk on the front though. So God, what was Airzonk's name in Japan? It was real crazy. It was like hyper like a rockabilly cyberneck or something like that. Yeah, so my next step one day is to get the styrofoam that goes inside. I'll find it one day. Motherfucker. Motherfucker. I just grab any of the secondary weapons. I grab whatever I can until I see the shield, and I grab the shield. My kid's doing good. He's actually at work right now. It's kind of weird that he's that old where he has a job, but I don't know, man. Life goes on, right? And when my kid first started working, I was like, damn, it made me feel old. I was like, damn, I got a kid that's legally allowed to work now. So those flashing shots, you can't be anywhere near those things when you're using the shield as your secondary power up. Because of the size of your hitbox. You just gotta stay the fuck away from them. Bada bing, bada boom. Oh God. My kid, dude, my kid, he's done with school. God, did anyone see if I should ask because I know people were at the game, but did the Orioles win last night? It was like a 40th year of the stadium being open yesterday. I mean, y'all probably don't give a fuck, but God, how did I get stuck with this awful weapon? Yeah, I don't know, dude. You'd have to ask him. I don't know. You're getting... I don't know. I mean, I have an idea of what my kid kind of wants to do with his life, but as far as like what he's going to major in school, nope. I'll tell you what I did though. When I was in school, I just took general studies, just for what just for the that's all I needed the degree for at the time. That's the only degree I needed at the time was a general studies degree. So. I need to make it past this stage. Oh Lord, babe, who won the game last night? Babe, did the Orioles win? Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah, well, sorry about the Orioles winning. Every time I go to a game, they lose, so they probably won because I wasn't there. Every time I go to the game, they lose. The Orioles lose every time I go. Ooh. Alright, I gotta get past this stage. I always thought about going to school for graphic design. It was the thing. See, I'm older, but graphic design was something I actually considered when I was going to school. And at the time, Adobe was just putting out some. I think like there was like a new version of Photoshop that had just come out, and I really wanted to learn how to use it. So I remember learning how to use that in school, but I never went to school for graphic design or anything like that. Although there is a time in my life where I needed to learn how to use some computer software to run actually an embroidery machine, of all things, right? And the software that this embroidery machine used was first of all, it was all in Japanese, right? I don't know Japanese, so I had to use like a Google like translate thing on my phone where I take a picture of the screen, right? but I had to get this Muslim guy from Turkey to like teach me how to use this machine. It was the most bizarre thing. I ended up contacting the manufacturer of the machine, and they're like, "Oh yes, sir. Well, we can fly in someone from Japan and all that." I'm thinking to myself like, and he's talking about this like $15,000 venture where they send like a rep in, and I'm like, dude, I said I don't have that. So I got a guy from Turkey to show me how to use the machine. Oh. He was a character too. I am going hard as fuck on turbo collecting right now. Yes, I am. Like just on the physical shit. Like I've had PC Engine pretty much all of my adult life, right? I've had a Duo R. Buy games, sell games here and there. I slowly kind of kept some of the shooters for the PC Engine. I want to say maybe end of last year. I will say this, a buddy of mine owns a video game store. It's a really, really big one in my area too. So I always get, like, I know I said there's like certain people that I'm always sending pictures of like all the shit that I find to all the time. And they might think like I'm like ADHD about it, and I am. But it's just because I got a buddy that's like a game dealer, so he's forever rolling inventory of shit all the time, right? But this guy knows that I like shooters. He knows. This is the guy I got my TurboGrafx from, by the way. It's right here. Look, where's it at? Here it is. Right there it is. All original hardware. I do have a pound cable coming out the back, so that's not original. But we gotta. I mean, how the fuck am I gonna stream it, right? Something about emulation, right? Emulation is cool. I emulate all the time, right? But like for shooters, like I feel like I can feel that input lag. I just can. Like on the I got a Turbo Mini, right? The one and M2 programmed it, right? I'm a big fan of the M2 shot trigger series, have been for years. I could feel the input lag on that thing, so I try to minimize the input lag. It'd be nice if I had a CRT I could actually use right now, but I don't. But I do have an older LCD TV that has a lower input lag, so I mean it works for me. But it's just something about the emulation. I can feel the difference. I can't explain it, but I can feel it. The 2 frames of input lag it probably adds, which isn't shit, but I know I sound weird, for saying it, but and there's ways to mitigate it, but I can just tell the difference. I just can. I can feel the difference when I do that figure 8 pattern with the ship in a lot of shooters. You know, the figure 8 pattern you do. I can just tell the difference when I start doing that figure 8 pattern. But I can only tell the difference in shooters that I've played a lot, you know? And I'll also say this, when it comes to like a lot of games on the Dreamcast, for whatever reason I can't, the input lag is about the same on Dreamcast from what I've noticed. Like on Steam Deck and stuff like that. But on the Dreamcast, I got a lot of the shooters and shit physically. I own them, except for like Gigawing 2, a couple other ones I got physical copies for. Alright, well, I don't feel like dealing with this guy. Let's just get him the fuck out of here. Come on. Here, get. There we go. Yeah, no shit. Mine's not modded at all. I'm just using the, I'm still using the RCA cables with it. I think it looks the same. And another thing too, can I tap into RGB right through the back of the system? I think that I can I? Or do you have to mod it? Because that's why I don't live stream the Duo R, is because I don't have it modded. Here, actually, I'm gonna go get it and show it to you since you own one. Hold on. There's my box. There. I'm pretty sure I have the original controller that came with it. I don't have the original power supply, but I do have a power supply that works. I also use a step up, step down converter, so I can do it at 100 volts instead of our US 120. I don't know if you do that with yours, but I definitely do that with mine. I think that's the original Duo R controller. And I haven't had this one 20 years, but I have had it a long time. God, when I got this thing, it was cheap too. These things were dirt cheap. But here's my. This thing's super clean too. I've babied this thing over the years, like babied it. But that's the only output I use. Right out the back, and just the regular composite cable, you know. And it looks good. It looks good, but I was thinking about getting one of those composite to HDMI converters, but it just looks like shit when I plug it up to the TV. Even though that's really what I'm looking at, that's really what you're looking at too on the screen is really just the composite converted over into HDMI with the pound cable. Yeah, isn't there's certain SCART cables, right, where you can get S video pretty much through the SCART cable, right? Or no? I'm asking, like, I don't know. Oh, here's the cables that just the regular, out through the back. That's all I use. I wish I had a box for this thing, but I can obtain one. They're not expensive. Let's see. And I want to get a converter where I can use turbo controllers on my PC Engine. But I know there's like different turbo controllers. Like I have just the regular turbo controllers, but if you have a Duo, it's like having like a mini port, right? And then they make converters so you can use an old school turbo controller on a Duo, right? Correct me if I'm wrong here. I'm pretty sure that's the case. I don't have one, so I'm just going off of just what I've seen, but yeah, I want to use the turbo controllers on the Duo R though. I mean, I want to get the analog system the analog Duo. Poor Mr. TurboGrafx. I just dropped my vape on my turbo. Thank God I just got one of those little pen vapes. Alright, shield. I need shield. Fuck. Shield me, please, somebody. Come on, shield, 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 shield. Ah, motherfucker. Let's see. Oh, so Rabbit Dude, so you're on vacation right now? Lake house. I like the sound of that lake house. That just sounds like I envision the word vacation when I hear lake house. I will say this. I grew up on a house in the water. Now, I know some of you might look at my YouTube channel and think, oh, God, Baltimore, he probably lives in the middle of the hood. Well, not when I was a young boy. When I was a young boy, I lived on the water, in an area on the water, and it was nice. Yeah, it was nice. But in a way, this area that I grew up at, it was a lot like Baltimore. It was a lot like Baltimore in that, and like in Baltimore, and so, Baltimore is a pretty mixed area. If you think about like whites, blacks, and Spanish, like all three, there's other races there too, obviously, but those are the big three, right? You got the whites, you got the blacks, and then you got the Hispanics. I'm going to include a lot of different countries when I say Hispanics, because lots of different countries. Just like there's lots of different countries in Europe. But anyway, where I'm from, it was just white and black, right? There wasn't really a whole lot of Hispanics or Asians or anything like that, really, where I grew up at. But in Baltimore, I was just shocked. It's like little, like there's parts of Baltimore where it's like Little Mexico. But those are also some of the best places to go for food. Big fan of Mexican food, I am. Especially tamales, right? I like tamales, and there's not a ton of places that do this, but I like tamales just done a certain way where it's almost like a thick cornbread texture, but I like it when they throw vegetables up in that shit. And I don't like meat in my tamales, although my girl, she likes like pork tamales and chicken tamales. They're okay, but I like vegetables in there. That's just me. But I've moved several times in my life, and for several different reasons. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Just life changes, and I can tell you one of the last times I moved was a career choice type of deal, type of move. Yeah, just pretty much. What I mean to say is I moved for work at the time, but. When I was a kid, I would always move somewhere, I'm living at a friend's house and this other friend is charging cheaper rent or whatever the case may be, But when you're a kid making like, $10 an hour or whatever, trying to make it, you gotta think like that. So when this guy's almost dead, he starts cranking out these little helper spiders here. Oh, what's the game music sound like? Because on my end, it's crackling a little bit because I need to replace the caps on my turbo. But I checked on my phone and it actually sounded pretty decent. But yeah, I need to get the capacitors replaced on this. It's something I could do myself. I got a soldering iron and a solder remover, and I got all the shit for it. I just kind of need to learn how to do it. I mean, I have reflowed boards. I mean, there's things I've used a soldering iron for before. I've fixed a couple games before with the soldering iron, but I'm not like super skilled with a soldering iron. But there was one mod that I really wanted to do a Modbo mod on a PS2. That's a tricky one though. Oh my god. And there's so many revisions of the PS2 Slim. I'm talking about the Slim models here, you know, to region mod them. This is something I don't know if Carlos is still in the chat. He knows a little bit about this. Ooh, my vape's almost. Let's see. Oh god. Yeah, I need a new one. Hold on, let me grab a new little vape pod. I'll tell you what though, I've lived in like the inner city, and I've also lived out in the county. I definitely like living out in the county better. I used to be like all about the city and shit like that. It's just as I've gotten older, I'm just not. I'm always welcome in all parts of my city though, because I've never burned my bridges. After everything I've done, I've always kept my bridges nice and tight. Let's see. I'm sure you have. It's the one where there's the chip with a million wires hanging off of it. The Modbo. I actually have some of the Modbo chips, right? Because I was serious about trying to do this mod. I ordered them off of like AliExpress or something like that. They were cheap. They were like $1 and some change a chip. And I was telling my homeboy that owns a retro store, I was like, look, I'm going to try to learn how to do this as a hobby. It'd be cool if you can, let me mod a couple PS2s. Maybe we'll throw them in the case and see what they sell for. Because I'd pay on a Modbo mod from a store. Like if you can show me this thing working, shit, I'd pay like $1.50. I might pay $2 for something like that. It's worth it. Look what you can do with it. Any region game, burnt games, all that in and of itself is worth it, right there. I've never owned a modded PlayStation. I've heard about them. I know they're common as hell. I've just never owned one. I've always just bought the games and shit. Or emulated PlayStation games. Now, like I always say, when it comes to emulating something like a PlayStation or a PlayStation 2 or Dreamcast, GameCube, any disc-based system, you're loading a ROM to RAM, right? So because that transfer of information is going on, I don't really see any difference than loading the ROM through an emulator, right? Or an ODE. How is running it through an ODE any different than emulating it on a Steam Deck at that point, right? So just for disc-based systems, emulation is like the same as playing it off the disc for me, because you're loading it from RAM or the ROM to RAM. The same way that a Retron 5 dumps the ROM and then you're emulating that ROM, right? So that's where I'm really cool with emulation for. But something about the cartridges, though, just for me, the solid state nature of these cartridges, just the pins inserting into the pin slot, right? Something about that emulation can never take away for me. For me. But I'm a huge fan of emulation, though. Like, I'll give you an example of, like, when I wouldn't use emulation. Like, I heard about that, not that I really care that much, but I heard about that book, that N64 book or whatever. And the writers are playing emulated versions of the game. Now, if they play just like the cart and you're using an original controller through HDMI somehow, I guess that'd be cool. But if you're writing a review book, I would want it at least the game played through a multi-cart or you know, an EverDrive, something like that. But again, I'm not a 64 guy, so I really don't care. I just burnt the fuck out of my shield. Yeah, I did. That's what made me think of it, because of the mod you were talking about. I know you're big on the PlayStation. PlayStation's a fucking. There's a lot of good games on PlayStation. A lot of good shooters. A lot of exclusive shooters too. Like one that I want that I don't have is that game Xanic X Xanic. That's one I'm looking for. I'm gonna find that shit one day too. Oh damn! Now, Rabbit, dude, I have been to Alaska. When I went to Alaska, this was years ago, but when I went to Alaska, we flew out to Anchorage, of course, right? But from Anchorage, I went to to get to Alaska, I had to transfer at LAX. That was the only way to get in there. But we went to Anchorage. We went from LAX to Anchorage, and then from Anchorage, I went to the Portage Glacier. I went deep sea fishing out in the ocean. We caught two different types of fish. One was an orange roughy. And while I'm reeling this thing in, and this is with a tour guide, obviously, on a boat, a chartered boat, I'm reeling this orange roughy in. The fucker, it's such a deep sea fish that once you reel it in a certain amount of the way up, it'll float the rest of the way up. The bladder will like expand out the mouth and like explode almost. And then the fish will just like float the rest of the way up. It's really crazy. And then another fish, I had to use this like reel that was like hooked to like this machine. It was called a halibut. Yeah, halibut. It was like a big ass flounder. It's like a giant flounder. We caught a couple of those and some orange roughy. The orange roughy tastes really, really good when you deep fry it. I think we did like a cornbread batter for that shit. And we sent all that home. We had it packed in dry ice, and we sent a lot of that stuff home. But yeah, Mexico. I've always wanted to go to Mexico. I almost went to Mexico once for a work thing, but it didn't happen. One of my coworkers was getting married a few years ago, and this is the guy. Whenever he does anything like a marriage or anything important goes on, everyone at work, he likes to fly everyone out and shit like that. One of those everyone has to see it happening. He's one of those type of guys. Like, look at me. Good dude though. But me, I'm more of a private person when it comes to shit like that. Come on. That was it? Yeah, Eternal Poison. That was Eternal Poison is a strategy RPG that it looks pretty interesting. That dude, that Eric Landon guy, he always spoke real high. I've been watching that guy for many, many years. That dude does have a pretty good taste in JRPGs, but that's just one that he spoke real highly of years ago. And, they actually, come to think of it, not that long ago, my game store had multiple copies of that game in. God. No. Alright, well, hey, that weapon works pretty good for that the enemy, so I ain't gonna complain about that. I want the shield, though. There we go. God damn, look at him. Fucking looks like the Toxic Avenger. I love those Traumaville movies, the Toxic Avenger and Nuke 'Em High and shit. Nuke 'Em High is my favorite. I love that movie. There we go. There we go. Shadow Hearts, yeah, Shadow Hearts is a good one. The copy of Shadow Hearts I found, it was at a convention. I was actually with that is a YouTuber, Linda, the gamer gal. I was walking around a convention with her, and this guy had like 3 or 4 copies of Shadow Hearts, and one of them said promotional use only, like not for sale. And I was like, I want that one. And he was like, all right, if you buy it right now, I'll sell it to you for $50. At the time, that's what it cost, 50. He's like, I'll sell it to you for the same price as a regular one. I was like, deal. And then I had found out later from another YouTuber that the promotional copies were given away as promotional copies when you pre-ordered the second Shadow Hearts Covenant. If you pre-ordered that, they would send you the first game for free. So, little interesting tidbit there.
Photon fracture. Ring blaster. Field thunder.
Come on, shield.
Disruptor wave. Multi-body.
Oh my god, I didn't want that. Oh man, I don't have any bombs left either. Shit.
Ring blaster. Disruptor wave.
Ah, you bitch. There we go. I just need to power up. See what I mean? The shield is so big that you can't really like touch anything to it or you'll lose it. God. Oh, I'm gonna lose the shield. Jesus Christ. Come on, shield, 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 shield. No. Yeah, I'm a big fan of those older JRPGs too. I saved some of the ones that I liked a lot, like for PS1. I still have copies of, but most of them I gave back to the game store just because I traded them for shooters, you know.
Disruptor wave.
Oh no.
Disruptor wave.
Alright, let's see what's going on here. Dragon's Quarter, that was a PS2 Breath of Fire, right? That was one that I didn't enjoy so much for whatever reason. I don't remember why, but I remember playing that game and thinking, like, my God. It was like it got the Xseed treatment or something, you know? But I like the first 3 Breath of Fires.
Multi-body.
Christ.
Shield. Pulling this out.
Oh, I didn't want that.
Shield.
I got 11 bombs saved up, so that's good. Yeah, I know Albert's a big JRPG guy. I sold off, like I had the Suikoden games and stuff. They're getting remade or remastered or whatever, so I sold them off. The only thing I kept was like the Lunars. I kept God, what's that one really good strategy RPG that's really violent? There was like a 1 and a 2. It was like a Capcom strategy RPG. Bitch. Ah, come on. God, I wasted almost all my bombs on that guy. Ah, the next on the PC hunt list. Alright, okay, so I think, okay, so I got a banger coming in the mail right now. I'll reveal it when it gets here, right, but I think Burning Angel is one that I'm looking for. I'm going to have a PCE copy of Magical Chase probably within the next few weeks or so. They're re-releasing that, which I'm totally cool with the PCE Works version of anything. That's right, give me a shield. Jesus Christ. Fuck. Oh, that's bullshit. Yeah, I know. It looks good, doesn't it? I got Psycho Chaser. Why did I grab that? Shield. Yes. Okay. Damn. I give me the 2. I want the 2. Alright. Ooh, shit's getting real on Blazing Lasers. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna get a. I'm getting the. I guess it's probably gonna come in like a cool case. Oh, I got that Dino Force game that came in the box and everything. I got that from a dude in France, and he sent me a copy of Alzadik for free. But I already had a copy of Alzadik, so I got like the real one and the PCE Works version. They look identical except for the PCE Works logo on there. Here, I'll show you a real one and a PCE Works one. So all's a dick. God, my boy. When I showed my boy this game, he was laughing at the name. He thought it was so funny. All's a dick. He was like, "Yeah, that dude gave you the dick." So here's a real copy, right? Summer Carnival '92, not to be confused with Summer Carnival '93. But that's a real copy. And then here's a PCE Works version, which it's just in a sleeve, right? But inside that sleeve is a pretty nice disc with the PCE Works. Which this is no oh god, this is no Nexer, but I do like Alzadik. But I do like Nexer better though. Which I also have a copy of Nexer. I got Spriggan, I got Spriggan MK2, I got Steam Hearts, I got a few other ones. Yeah, dude, a shooter, any good shooter, right? Especially on the PC Engine or the Turbo, especially on the Turbo, is gonna run you a bill at least. That's just a, you gotta just be, you gotta accept that in this world, you know? I'm cool with it though. I'm a Turbo collector at this point. Alright, bomb you right in the middle. Oh yeah, shield, 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 come on. No! Thank you. For another shield now. Oh, here we go. Come on, shield me. There we go.
Field Thunder.
That should be the end of the level, right there. Was that a mid boss? Oh, thank God. Oh, that's right. This level. This is a shitty level here.
Multi-bot. Field Thunder.
Oh, another game I want to get is Final Soldier. That's another PC Engine game I want.
Disrupt your way.
Ugh. I gotta get moving and get my shit going for the day. Let's see. Yeah, I paid a good bit for most of mine, but there's quite a few games that I bought years ago, shooters that there's no way I'd buy them today because they're so expensive. But then the turbo stuff, I don't mind paying a good bit of money for unless it's like too crazy. Like Bonk 3 money's crazy. There's some boxes I want. Like I want a box for Soldier Blade. I want a box for Dead Moon. Shit like that. But yeah, I think good. They press really good discs. I like them. And then there's a lot of games that I have just the like the hue cards for, like Air Zonk, Sinistron, Sidearms. That's an easy one to get complete. And here's some oh look, Psychosis. I'd love to have a box for that. Then I got some PC Engine. Some PC Engine. What do I have for the PC Engine? Operation Wolf and Darius Plus. But yeah, I'll probably jump on here later. I'm going to jump off here for right now. I appreciate everybody stopping in and saying hi, man. That's why I do this shit. Till next time, guys. Peace.